Good morning. Live weather blog meteorologist Bob Acarfrio with today's tropical update for Tuesday, July 13th, 2010. The tropics remain nice and quiet today. We'll kind of go through the eastern United States weather here first, and then we'll go through some tropical maps, and I'll show you some of my predictions for the rest of the month and let you know what's going to happen. Right now we have high pressure still in control along the Gulf Coast. This has helped to dry out Texas very nicely after Hurricane Alex and Tropical Depression number 2. So dry weather will continue there for the next couple days. We had a potent trough of shortwave trough move off the East Coast last night and early this morning. This has sparked some severe weather across Delaware this morning, and Rob Guarino has been blogging about that. So check him out. We'll have another trough move through the eastern United States right in here. This will move east, and this will give you another round of some heavy rainfall later this afternoon and tonight. And then after that, it looks like high pressure wants to build back in through this area Thursday, Friday, through the weekend. So another mini heat wave will ensue across this area. So after your little bit of break recently, it looks like hot weather will return to the around that Philadelphia area for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and possibly through the weekend. Just a quick overview of the Storm Prediction Center, where they believe the severe weather will go today. We have a slight risk of severe weather across the south here as this trough moves through the area. So this is where we could have the possibility of some severe weather right in this area today. Okay, quick look at the tropics. Really not much to talk about, so we'll go through these maps real quickly. Dry, stable air right in this area here. We have one tropical wave here that's not going to develop. Stronger wind shear blowing right through this area here, so nothing developing in this area anytime soon. Looking off the African coast, we had one tropical wave move off and dissipate in this dry, dusty air up here. Another one ready to move off. That's not going to develop. One thing we've seen the last week is the ITCZ starting to make its crawl to 10 north. This is a sign that the Cape Verde season is going to start up soon. Probably see that. I don't think it's really going to start next week. I'm thinking maybe the week after, the last week of July, we might start to track some of these Cape Verde waves coming off. Looks like this dust, we'll get rid of this dust as the Bermuda Azore high looks like it's going to be weakening towards the end of next week. So we'll get rid of this dust, and probably the last week of July start to see some activity start to begin out here. So that's what you really want to see. You want to see this ITCZ start to crawl up to 10 north, and you'll see things start to heat up out here soon enough. Again, wind shear maps showing this strong band of wind shear right through the Western Caribbean, through most of the Caribbean, and then out this way. We're starting to see this start to lift a little north, and this is the transition I'm going to talk about that's going to start this next week. A little bit of a quiet lull right now, but we're seeing signs that things are going to start changing moving into next week and the week after. So don't get caught off guard by this lull. Looks like things will begin to change starting next week. And here again is the Saharan air layer. I showed you this yesterday, and you can see it's starting to break up a little bit out here. Not as thick, but you can see it's still taking up a lot of area in here. And this will preclude any development. It'll be interesting to see if some of this dust actually gets into South Florida this week, and there are indications that some of this could clip South Florida. So it'll be interesting to see if they get into some of this dusty air this weekend. So why did this dust come off? Well, we've had a strong Azore Bermuda high recently. This has helped to really kick the trade winds pretty strong, and this blew off that dust and pushed it pretty quickly west. When the NAO is in its positive stage here, we definitely have a stronger Azore Bermuda high, and we've seen it really pump up into the positive area here recently. Looks like it wants to slip back down towards negative. And we've seen, I'm going to show you the models, the Euro model and the GFS model, really showing that Azore high weakening towards the end of next week. So it looks like we'll slip back into negative. You saw all the negative here during the springtime, and this helped really to have a much weaker trade winds, and that helped heat up the sea surface temperatures out in the tropical Atlantic here. But you saw recently we had that big upswing into positive, and that's what happened recently to bring all that dust off the African coast. And taking a look at the MJO, we've been pretty positive here recently. It's good we've had all this dust come off the coast. We could have had a lot of activity. Looks like another pulse is going to move through next week and move from west to east. So again, probably want to look at the Western Caribbean for some activity early next week. And then this pulse will move off towards from west to east across the tropical Atlantic. So again, we could see some activity start to heat up next week again. Again, the models aren't really showing much activity, but we do have, this is the parallel GFS showing some system trying to develop in the Western Caribbean middle of next week. Again, this is the area I would still focus on starting this weekend into early next week for something that might want to try to develop in this area here. Just wanted to show you, here's the high. We've had about a 1031, 1032 millibar. You see by middle of next week it's down to 1028. And let me show you the next screen here on the GFS towards the end of the week, how it even weakens more and pushes eastward. And here we are again, it's weakening even more, pushing farther east, a little more troughiness developing along the east coast. And this will create lighter trade winds across the main development region here in the tropical Atlantic, so less dust, and this could start to open up. Like I said, not next week, but the week after, towards the end of the month, this might start opening up the Cape Verde season. And just to coincide that, this is the Euro model, the extended run through the end of next week, 10 days. You can see strong, watch when this loop starts, if you could see this, strong high here, and then it kind of weakens and pushes east towards the end of the period. This is towards the end of next week. So again, indications that this high is going to weaken. This is going to create less lighter trade winds through here. And again, I see this, the tropics will start to change starting next week. And then I believe towards the end, last week of July, we could be tracking 1 or 2 storms. As I said, in June, I thought this would be a pretty much normal start to the season. And we have had a pretty normal start. 1 to 2 storms right about now. That's about right. We've had 1 storm. So we're pretty normal right now. I expected things to heat up towards the middle to the end of July, and looks like that's going to start to happen soon enough. So don't let your guard down. Again, these quiet times are a good time to look over your hurricane preparations, make sure everything's in order for the peak of the season. Thanks for listening today. I will have another tropical update tomorrow. Have a wonderful day.